Everyone's screaming about Claude Code, MCP servers, and API keys. Meanwhile, the feature that actually saved me $140 a month is the one most people scroll past: Artifacts. If you're a solopreneur paying for a form builder, a calculator widget, a Notion template pack, and 3 other micro SaaS tools you barely log into, you're burning money on stuff Claude builds inside the chat window in 90 seconds. I'll show you 7 internal tools I run my invoicing business on, live. Most tutorials show devs. I'm Lazar. I ship these for clients daily. Here's the part nobody covers. Let's talk about the actual problem first. Because if you don't recognize yourself in this, the rest doesn't matter. You're running a small business. Maybe you're solo, maybe you've got 2 or 3 people, and somewhere along the way you ended up with a stack that looks like this: Tally for forms, Airtable for a tiny CRM, a Canva seat for one-page deliverables, a Figma seat just to preview PDFs, MailChimp for email templates you send twice a month, and a couple of one-trick calculator widgets you embedded on your site. Each one is $15 to $30 a month. Individually, none of them feel expensive. Together, you're hemorrhaging $150 a month on tools you use for 10 minutes a week. And every time you need a tiny custom thing, a quote calculator with your specific pricing tiers, an intake form that branches based on client type, a table that compares 3 service packages, you either pay for a higher tier or you give up and do it manually in a spreadsheet. That's the trap. Now here's why existing solutions fail you. No-code builders like Bubble or Softer want you to learn their entire ecosystem to build a 5-field form. Lovable and V0 are amazing, but they push you toward deploying real apps with hosting and auth, which is overkill for an internal tool you'll use twice. And the AI tutorials on YouTube? They're all aimed at developers spinning up Claude Code in a terminal. Nobody's showing the non-coder layer. So let me show you the 7 tools I actually built and what they replaced. Tool 1. An invoice line item calculator. I run an invoicing product, and during sales calls, I needed a fast way to show prospects what their monthly bill would look like based on volume tiers, VAT, and currency. I used to pay $19 a month for a form and calculator SaaS to host this on my site. I opened Claude, said build me a calculator with these 3 inputs, these tier breakpoints. Output the total in Euro and RSD with VAT toggled on or off, style it clean. 90 seconds later, working artifact. I copy the code, paste it into a single HTML file, drop it on my site. Done. $19 a month, gone. Tool 2, a client onboarding intake form with conditional logic. New client signs up. I need to know if they're a freelancer, a small agency, or an enterprise, and the follow-up questions branch from there. Tally Pro charges for conditional logic. I ask Claude to build the form as an artifact with branching, local storage to save progress, and a final summary screen that emails me the answers via a Mail-to link. Took 2 prompts. Tool 3 is the one that genuinely surprised me. I was paying for a Figma seat just to preview how my invoice PDF templates looked when rendered in different languages: Serbian, English, German. I built a Claude artifact that takes a JSON config of invoice data, renders the HTML version side by side with how it'll look as a PDF, and lets me toggle between languages with 1 click. It's a QA tool for my own product. Figma seat, gone. Tool 4. Pricing tier comparison tables. Every time a prospect asks about my pricing versus a competitor's, I'd manually build a comparison table in Notion or Google Docs. Now I have a Claude artifact where I paste in raw bullet points and it generates a clean 3-column comparison with check marks, X marks, and highlighted differentiators. I screenshot it, send it in the email reply, close the call. Tool 5 is the one that does the most heavy lifting. A local storage CRM mini dashboard. I have about 20 pilot clients I track during onboarding. I don't need Pipedrive for 20 people. I built an artifact that stores client name, status, last contact date, and notes in browser local storage with a Kanban view across 4 columns. It's not a real database, it lives in my browser, but for 20 rows, it's perfect. Every morning I open it, drag 2 cards, close it. Tool 6, a markdown to branded HTML converter. I write emails in Markdown because it's fast. MailChimp's template builder is overkill for sending 15 emails a month. The artifact takes my Markdown, applies my brand colors and font stack, and outputs HTML I paste into Gmail. And Tool 7 is the trick that makes all of this actually stick. Combining artifacts with projects. By default, artifacts live inside a single chat. Close the chat, you lose easy access. The fix is to create a project for each tool. Drop a system prompt that says, always regenerate the latest version of this artifact at the start, and pin the working code as a project file. Now every time I open that project, my tool is one message away. It's persistent, it's reusable, and it cost me $0 to host. The end result, after about 6 weeks of building these in spare moments, 14 total artifacts, 7 that I use weekly, 4 cancelled SaaS subscriptions, and roughly $140 a month off my card. No deploy pipeline, no decub mine, no GitHub, no API key, no server. If you want the exact prompts I use to spin these up in under 90 seconds, plus the project setup that keeps them reusable, see the full pack and real client builds at BizflowAI.io. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so the next breakdown lands in your feed. And if you've got a workflow eating 2 to 4 hours of your day, book a free 30-minute discovery call at BizflowAI.io, and we'll map what's actually automatable.